Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Giselle and I have a pick a card reading for you today. So the reading of today is what are your talents? What are your gifts? What are you naturally talented with? And what are you just naturally good with? What comes easy for you? And also some messages, some important messages from your guides connected with this talent or gift. I have 4 piles here for you to choose, and I will insert an overhead picture so that you can pause the video and take your time and choose among them. We'll have pile number 1 with the green tourmaline, pile number 2 with the amethyst, pile number 3 with the rose quartz, and pile number 4 with the clear crystal. This is a general reading, so take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate with you, then that's just not your reading, and you can check one of my other pick-a-cards in my channel. So I will now insert the overhead picture for you, and you can choose your pile, and I will link all the timestamps in the description box, but also in the comments, so you can jump straight on to your pile. I'll see you in a bit. Hello, pile number 1. This is the reading for everybody who chose the green tourmaline here. And I'll check your cards now. So I have some oracle cards for you and also some tarot cards. Okay, so opening your reading here, what are your talents? What are you naturally good with? I think, pile number 1, that you guys are very good strategists with the 7 of Swords here. Oh, also, I'm gonna say this in advance, but I'm not gonna read reversals in this reading, so if any of the cards come out in the reversal, I will just change it to the upright. But here, opening with the 7 of Swords, I think that you are very good strategists. You know exactly how to plan ahead to get the outcome that you want. But also this is an air card with the swords. So this is very mental. You can really see ahead. It's like you can see from afar, you know? Almost like an eagle image I get of being able to see everything and connect the different parts together. And this can be good either in your advantage, but this is also something that can be put into service of other people. And this is a message that is coming to me directly, like straight on. If this pile is using this gift to help people, to benefit people, or if it's something that you only use to benefit yourself, because the 7 of Swords is a card of a man who breaks into when an army is going to the war and they have the settlement, like a war settlement, and he breaks in and he's stealing the swords so that these soldiers, so that this side, they don't win the war. So there is this huge potential here for seeing things from above, for strategizing, for kind of understanding your enemy, let's say. And I don't mean your enemy, but I'm talking in terms of the war here. It's almost as if you are able to see into the minds of your enemy so that you can strategize and make the best choices for yourself. So this is a very interesting ability here. Yes, and then we have the King of Pentacles. So maybe some of you have a very good business mindset here. You can really use this in advantage, into your advantage. You know when is the right time to invest. You know what opportunities are good and which aren't. You can scrutinize between options very well because you're very mental. Pile number 1 is very smart. Very smart. And I get a bit of an emperor vibe here, a mind of the commander. Because even though you are appearing here as the Seven of Swords, so the man who breaks in, it's like you are also the commander behind it. You are the one who gives the orders for him to steal the swords. So I see this big strategical mind. And I would really say with this pile here, if you don't have your own business, I think you would do really well having your own business. Because you can spot good opportunities. You are very good to spot good opportunities that can bring you prosperity here. You know those people who identified like when Apple was just starting as a company, when Google was just starting as a company, this is that person who looks into that and says like, whoa, there's a huge opportunity here, I'm gonna buy these stocks, you know? You can see it before it happens. You just know when there's a good opportunity lurking in there. And you can identify that. So these are my brainiac. Pile number 1, you are my brainiac. Wow, yes. And then we have the devil. So for me, it confirms a lot of this energy, but more than that, and I think that this ties very well with the Seven of Swords, I think you are very good with your words. I think this is quite an archetype for me of the, like a salesperson, you know, someone who can sell you this tourmaline as if this is a diamond. That person who is very good convincing other people of something that they are trying to sell. I see a lot of that here. And I think you leave a lot inside your mind. I think these people live a lot inside of their own minds because, and this is also something that I'm getting here, I don't know if some of you might work as psychologists or in a profession in which you get to understand the other person's inner workings, the other person's mind. Or maybe some of you are studying to be a psychologist. Because I think that here there's a huge potential for helping people, but there's also a huge potential for using this in a selfish way. And I think that this is something that this pile needs to pay attention to, because I think that you can really understand the inner workings of someone else. You can really kind of peek into their brains. You can see beyond other people's intentions. And that's also what makes you such a good strategizer here. I think that this pile is very hard for someone to lie to you. You can see straight through them. If someone tries to lie to you, tries to fool you, you can see it, you can spot it right away. It's very hard for anyone to fool this pile, because you can see beyond that. You can see beyond the mask, the facade. And I think that you guys would do great psychologists if this is something that you have an interest in. And if you don't, just like any business or profession in which you need to understand the inner workings of someone. I get a lot of Pluto energy here, even though we don't have Pluto cards. Like this is a Capricorn card, this is Aquarius, and the King of Pentacles for me, it's a bit of Capricorn and Taurus. For me, King of Pentacles is both. I get that Pluto energy of being able to see what is deep beneath the surface. This is the energy that I'm getting with this devil here. But I think that you guys really need to watch out your words and make sure that you're using your words for the good, because I also think that you have a great potential to influence and manipulate people. I think that you are just naturally talented to influence and manipulate people. So you need to make sure that you're putting those gifts into some good service, that you're not using that to hurt anyone, to control anyone, to lie and cheat. It's very important because you don't want to generate the bad karma that might come from that. So this is a beautiful gift here, but you need to put it into service. You need to use it in a good way. Because that's what I said in the beginning, like selling this green tourmaline as if this is a diamond. You have this gift to convince people to do what you want and manipulate them and influence them. That is scary. With both these cards, it's scary how much you can do that. And yes, you can use that to accomplish some great things for yourself, right? Because we have here the King of Pentacles. So if you have your own business, if you have something like that, or if you can use this to like identify beforehand very good business opportunities for you to invest, I think that this is also a great use of this gift in a more selfish way. So you are still benefiting yourself, but without hurting anyone. But if you can also use this in a profession that you can help someone, like some sort of counselor or therapist, or either if you are thinking about becoming a tarot reader or maybe an astrologer as well, something that you can see and you can understand the inner workings of the other person, but help them through that. Because I almost see here, pile number one, as if you came to earth with this ability, this talent, in a way to be tested. Like we are giving you this power to influence. Are you going to use it in a good way or in a bad way? This is your test. The devil for me is very connected with a test. So let's see what are your oracle cards. We are going to start with the goddess cards. Cordelia, go outside. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. Okay, what this card is telling me is that this go outside, I think that it talks about going a bit outside of your mind. I have this feeling that this pile, since you have this strong mental ability, I think you can sometimes overthink too much, or maybe just stay in your own mind, in your own inner world for too long. Maybe some of you have a Scorpio moon. I feel a strong energy here of a Scorpio moon. So maybe some of you have this placement. So dealing with your inner workings, with your emotions and your thinking processes can become a bit of an obsession sometimes. And it's important to step out. To step out of your own mind, to step out of other people's minds as well. To step out of your own emotions, just kind of live in the moment. Connect a bit with the Taurian energy. Whenever we have too much of one axis, it's important to focus on the opposite axis. So if you have that very scorpionic energy of feeling obsession or being too obsessed with an idea or something, or spending too much time in your own head and in your own emotions, too much time in the depths, then it's important to come out to the surface, to the Taurian side of enjoying life and connecting and doing everyday things, to balance it out a little bit. So it's important to do that. Wow, and then we have the shaman. Trust in higher forces. And what I said before about the eagle of seeing everything from above, and now we have here, and he has an owl sitting on top of his crown chakra. And the owl is the symbol of wisdom, is a symbol of knowledge, of seeing beyond. And we have it sitting on top of his crown chakra. So you really can see beyond the surface. You can really see underneath it all. You have such a deep understanding of human behavior, of human nature. You really like to see what make people tick. Ask body, and can you see what did I just say? Here he has the owl on top of his head in his crown chakra, and here we have this panther, this tiger. I don't know what animal this is, a tiger, but he has this huge eye opened on top of his crown. So it's a super activated crown chakra that you have here, and also at a third eye chakra. Even though it's on top of the head, I see this connection also with the third eye. And I think that this ties back to what I said before. Remember that I said about the karma? You don't want to use this in a bad way because you don't want to generate that karma for yourself. And this is something important that I feel called to tell you here, which is when a soul is not developed enough, that soul will have their lower chakras more activated and the upper chakras less activated. Okay, a very developed soul will have everything activated, but a soul that is not very well developed yet will have the base chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral chakra. They will all be very activated because that person acts a lot on instinct, on survival. It's moved by survival, everything's a matter of survival. So they act a lot from their solar plexus instead of the crown. It's a matter of survival for them. It's a bit animalistic, when animals, they act from instinct. It's important to have strong lower chakras, don't get me wrong. It's incredibly important. But as I said, we need to balance everything, right? Because if we only have the lower chakras activated and the upper ones are not activated, then we are a bit animalistic. We are just worried about survival. But when a soul is more developed, which I think is the case of this group, because you guys have this very active crown chakra here. So this is a soul that already managed to develop the lower chakras and is now developing the upper chakras. If your soul has already reached this level of evolution and has a very activated crown chakra, and you use your gifts, such strong abilities, to harm other people, the karma generated by that is so much bigger than the ones of a soul that is not yet developed. Because think about it like a child, okay? So imagine, for instance, that you have a child, okay? That you have a very young child, let's say 1 year old, and that child comes and pees on the floor. You're not gonna beat that child. You understand that that's a very young child and it will make mistakes. And the karma works like that. So when the karma looks at a young soul as a soul that is not very well developed, it sees that soul as a child. Yeah, it's making a stupid mistake, but I mean, they are just 1 year old. They are growing and evolving. They are learning that that's not supposed to be done. But if you get an adult, and that an adult just comes to your house and pee on the floor, what are you doing? Right? Because they are an adult. They are supposed to know that already. So the punishment is going to be bigger. So it's the same with the karma and the souls in development. So that's why it's really important to not use these gifts in a bad way. Because this is a big talented. And this is because the reason why you can see through other people so easily like that is because you have this very well developed crown and third eye chakras. So you need to use that in a good way. You need to use that to help people. Okay. And then we have your last card, which is the animal spirit here. The elk. So this is also the energy that is connected with the earth. So it has the earth element here, just like the King of Pentacles. And I like this because the elk has a lot of integrity. He is a leader. He is a father. He is the supporter of the home, just like the King of Pentacles. So first, it tells me that indeed you are very talented to business, to use these gifts into concrete ways. So not only you are extremely smart, but you can apply that in ways that are concrete with the combination of these two energies. But I think that you have a lot of integrity, which is great. I love to see that my pile number 1 has this energy together with these gifts, because this tells me that you are using this in a good way because of this integrity. But the only problem here with the elk, and it's something that you really need to pay attention to, is because the elk, when it's unbalanced, can have a very big inflated ego. So careful with this energy here. I really see this almost as a test. This is the pile for me that has a very developed soul and is being put into test. Here, we are gifting you with this amazing talent, but we need to see if you're gonna use it the right way. So don't let your ego override. Stay humble and stay in your authenticity and in your integrity to take the best out of this opportunity. So this is all I have for you, pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed, and if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I do work with private consultations, both tarot readings and also astrological readings. You can see my website at the description box. So I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi pile 2, welcome to your reading. This is the reading for everybody who chose the pile number 2 with the amethysts. And I have some oracle cards and some tarot cards for you. Let's see. And I'm using the Thought Tarot here for you. So let's see, what are your talents and your gifts? Wow. So first we start with the Empress. And this is a beautiful card. So the Empress is very abundant to start. She's a manifester, but she manifests not by actively doing it like the Magician. We'll see also based on the other cards. Maybe we'll have some more active cards. But in her case, it's more, she attracts it. I see it as good karma, you know? The Empress is someone who puts the good in the world, so she attracts it back. So she can just sit and reap the rewards of doing the good, because she's also very nurturing. She is the mother archetype. So I think that you are someone who is very nurturing to the people around you. You're probably someone who likes to take care of your friends, who likes to offer them good things. If you have money, if you have good things, you like to share with them. This is also a very generous card. It's a very generous group. So I also think that you have this nurturing quality, and people around you, they do feel that. They feel like you are very generous, that you are very giving. Also with your money, with your time. I keep seeing especially money here. So like either giving gifts or money itself. That you love to share that with the people around you. But that you have this very nurturing quality to you. And that's very attractive to people. And you also sit very tall in your power. So either you see that or not, I think that there is such a potential here for prosperity and also for confidence because of the way you treat the people around you. It just comes back at you. And then we have the Five of Wands, and it's funny because I didn't see these cards before, but I just said that we'll see what are the other cards, right? We'll see if you actually is a goal getter or if you just attract. And actually with the Five of Wands here, I see this balance of attracting but also knowing how to go after it. There's a lot of fire within you. So you attract, you know how to sit and wait for things to come, but if you need to go after it, you can just get up and go, pile number 2, with this Five of Wands. You have a lot of fire. And actually, I also see this connected with this Empress, and as I said before, that I see you as someone who really likes to take care of your friends. And with this Five of Wands, I also see you as you're like, don't mess with my people. Don't mess with the people I love. Because you will go after it. Then when that time comes, when someone messes with the people you love, this Empress can quickly become the Emperor. So I do see this big fire in you as well to go after it. And I do see like it's something that you almost resist. I think that you feel more comfortable in the Empress position, because here in this the thought tarot we have Saturn and Leo. So Saturn in Leo, and Saturn in Leo is almost a difficulty to express your specialness, to express your uniqueness. But if you need to, you will, because this is still a Wands card. But it's almost like you are more comfortable in this position. But if pressed, you can easily enter this Five of Wands mode and just bring your fire up, and do what needs to be done. So I have this feeling that you use this more towards the people you love, towards your friend, your family, to protect them than to protect yourself. Don't know why I'm getting that message. And the last card, yes, Three of Wands, and it says virtue. I think that this group, and then we have the Sun in Aries. And Sun in Aries is very authentic, but it's also has a lot of integrity. So I really like the integrity that I see coming out with this pile. It's like you really know who you are. You know your values with this virtue, and also with the Empress, because the Empress is a card of value. She's Venus in Taurus. And Taurus is the ruler of the second house, which is the house of our values, our personal belongings, our personal values, of the things that we hold close to us. So with the Three of Wands, and it's called virtue, I think that you really know your values, your moral values. You have very strong moral values of what is right, what is wrong. And if someone is acting in a way that you think is wrong, you are always ready to get up and fight for it. If someone challenges that, if someone acts in a way that you think is manipulative, that is harmful to you or to the people around you, you can become a lioness. It's so interesting. So let's see. Yes, and then we get Iemanjá with golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. And she is a manifester, Brazilian goddess. She's the goddess of the sea. And with important doors are opening for you. And I don't know if you can see here, but there are some flowers in the water. And in Brazil, during the New Year, people throw flowers in the water for her to attract prosperity, to attract her blessings. So with this Empress here, and look how the Empress is holding a flower bouquet. She's holding flowers. And then we have the flowers here in the water. And this golden opportunity. So yes, one of your talents is also this. You're so prosperous. And I really see this prosperity as the good karma that keeps coming back at you. You're so protective, so nurturing, so generous to the people around you, to your friends, to your family, that you just keep attracting it. That's an amazing pile. So let's see. Again, wow. Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. We keep getting these prosperity cards here. You can manifest so much. I see this luck around you. It's almost as if people look at you and they think you're lucky because you keep attracting good stuff for you. But they don't see that it's just the energy that you're putting outside, that you're putting out. You keep sowing good seeds in the world. You keep sowing prosperity to other people's lives. You keep helping them. You keep giving them things. And then, yeah, of course, this is going to come back at you. Of course. Because you deserve this. And I wonder, pile number 2, if people look at you with some jealousy and think that you're just lucky, but they don't see the hard work that you put out. Because I can clearly see with all this that this is just your good karma that you're harvesting. And I think that the people who are close to you, the people who love you, your real friends, I think they do see that. They do see that whatever you attract is nothing more than the rewards for the good that you saw in the world. For the good that you planted here with these fruits. And indeed, like, rest assured that whatever prosperity you attract to you, you deserve it. Because you're planting these amazing seeds everywhere around you. Get wild. You're really not afraid of going after what you want. I really keep seeing this fire energy inside of you. It's like you might be calm and soft, but you have this big wild side inside of you. And I keep seeing Sagittarian energy. Because Sagittarius is, I mean, you're ruled by Jupiter. Sagittarians, they are extremely generous, expensive. They are very expensive because you are ruled by Jupiter. So you want to improve the lives of everybody around you, just as Jupiter touching your planet, right? Whenever Jupiter touches one of our personal planets, it just expands that tenfold. So you have this very wild, but also Jupiter is a sign of adventure, of wildness. So with this 5 of Wands here, yeah, I really see that. You have so much fire in you. You're so bold. You are so bold. You have so much courage. And it's that inner courage, you know, it's a courage to go after life. A lot of fire when you need to use it. And a lot of expansiveness in your energy. The last card, the Owl. And I really like the Owl here together with these other cards, because the Owl is connected with the air element, and it's always a symbol of knowledge. Again, Jupiter, I just got that Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is the ruler, or Sagittarius is the ruler of the 9th house, which is the house of higher knowledge, of seeing beyond, of seeing from above, right? It's like the hawk energy for me as well. Imagine a hawk flying high above it and just seeing from the top. It has vision. And with the owl here, I get that same kind of energy. There's a lot of vision. So not only you are very prosperous because you are a very good person, and you are very expensive, you're also very wise because you just see things from above. You can see beyond. So, wow, pile number 2, you are so talented. You are such a talented group. That's beautiful. So pile number 2, this is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed, and I do work with private consultations, both astrological and tarot readings as well. I have my website linked at the description box, so you can check it out if you want a private reading. And that's all. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. So this is the reading for everybody who chose pile number 3 with this rose quartz here. So let's take a look at your cards. And I've got some oracle cards for you and some tarot cards. And I have the Wild Unknown Tarot. And I'm not going to read reversals today, okay, with this talent cards. So if they come out in the reverse, I would just shift them. Let me put them here. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look. So we start with the 9 of Pentacles. It's funny because most piles, all the piles so far, they had a lot of prosperity, and I also see the same thing with this pile. So first, there's a lot of prosperity, but also a lot of independence, because the 9 of Pentacles is a card of harvesting the rewards of your hard work. So the 9 of Pentacles comes right after the 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles is a card of hard work, but it's a card of labor, and it's your own labor. It's the work that you do yourself. You get up early in the morning and you start working on it, and you put all of your time and effort, your blood in it, and then you get to the Nine of Pentacles, which are all the rewards that you are reaping from it. And it's a very abundant card, but it's a card of something that you build yourself with your own effort. So I already see that here with this group, that this is a very independent, self-reliant group. Very self-reliable here. This is the group of my hard workers. Actually, yeah, I think that's what separates you right now from the other groups. Even though the other groups were also very prosperous, I think that this is a group that is really the hard worker. Yeah, this is something that I'm picking up as well. I think that you have a lot of discipline. Because of this card coming right after the Eight of Pentacles, I think that you have a lot of discipline. I'm getting Capricorn energy here. Even though this is a card of Taurus, I'm getting Capricorn energy. You know, that hard work of I know what I want and I'll do whatever it takes. I'll get up in the morning early. I will start working at 5 a.m. if I have to, and I'll work the whole day, but I'll build my kingdom myself. I think that you have these big goals for you, big things that you want to achieve, and you're not afraid of working towards them. So we have the Five of Swords, and something that comes here for me is that one thing that this group needs to take care, to be aware of, is because I just said about the Capricorn, right? And I see this energy a bit of sometimes having to win at all costs. And the thing is, you can. That's the thing. You can win. You have so much energy of getting what you want, but be careful for it not to become something that comes from the ego of I need to achieve as high as I can to show other people that I can do that. Do that for yourself. Make sure that that is coming from a place of self-fulfillment, of happiness, you know, something that you want to attract to yourself because you want that life for yourself, and not just because you want to show other people that you can. Because one message that is also coming to me is that I don't think that this comes from a bad place. You know, I don't feel so much that this comes from a place of pride. It's almost as if, yeah, this is something that is coming strong for me right now. As I say this, I think that probably this group didn't have a good childhood, or maybe you grew up in a family that didn't good have, sorry, I just got lost in my words. Maybe this group came from a family that didn't have good money conditions. Maybe you came from a poor family, or if they were not poor, your parents always showed you the value of hard work. Like, if you want this, you need to work for this yourself. We are not just gonna give you this. So it's almost as if you need to prove to yourself and to other people now that you can. You can achieve this, you can build it. You can get that. You can get that money. You can get that position. So I don't see this coming from a place of pride. I see this coming from this place of almost scarcity. I feel a strong Saturn in this group. So if you know your chart, if you know that you have a strong Saturn in your chart, I see that strong Saturn. I also said about the Capricorn energy at first, right? And Saturn, the lessons of Saturn is learning the value of hard work. And it's funny because, for instance, check your Saturn if you know how to check some things in your birth chart. Because if you have trines or sextiles to your Saturn from personal planets, especially Mars, if you have a trine or a sextile, you can grow up with this ingrained feeling, with this ingrained knowledge that you need to put effort into things. And that comes naturally for you, you know? You just know that, yeah, in order to get to an objective, you need to put work into that. That's Saturn. Saturn is the delayed gratification, right? So you work hard for it and then you get it. But if you have a square, an opposition, or conjunction, then you grow up seeing limitations as just limitations of, I can never get what I want. Everything like doesn't matter how much hard work I put into things and I never get it. And you need to learn how to develop that into a trine energy. So you need to learn the value of hard work through limitations. You need to learn that, yeah, it might feel a limitation at first, but it's just because Saturn is trying to teach you that that's how Saturn works. That's how life works. You need to put sustained effort into everything that you do. So with this 5 of Swords here, I keep getting this message of someone who grew up in a place of limitation, of not getting the things that they wanted. And now it's almost as if they want to prove to themselves and to other people around that they can get that. But be careful with these feelings of either having it coming too much from the ego of just wanting to prove that, or from feeling defeated too much, of feeling too much defeated. You need to learn how to use your Saturn here. Okay, pile number 3. And I think you can do that because you chose this pile, right? And you are this independent energy of the 9 of Pentacles here. But I keep getting this message that it's very important to learn how to use your Saturn. Learn what Saturn is about. Saturn is not this bad guy, this limitation that comes and say, oh, you can never get what you want. No. Saturn is teaching you, you can get whatever you want as long as you put enough effort in it. And we all have Saturn somewhere in our chart. And if we don't have a strong Saturn aspecting things, it will be ruling a house that is important for us. Whatever it is, we will always have Saturn somewhere. So that's not an excuse. Right? Yeah, and as I said this, we have the 8 of Swords here. So again, a card of feeling trapped. So even though your talent is, you are someone who can attract a lot of prosperity, you are someone who has a lot, you know how to harness your efforts to your advantage. I keep seeing this feeling of being trapped, of like, I can never get what I want, doesn't matter how hard I try, I can never get it. But these are mental limitations that you're imposing yourself because of how you grew up. These are just self-limiting beliefs that you need to work on. Because this is a pick a card about talent, right? And maybe some of you already managed to do this. And then for those, I can say, okay, your talent is that even though you came from a place of limitation, even though you came from a place of scarcity, you managed, because, so see here? So I think that for some of you, it can definitely be that, because this is a butterfly. So this is a strong symbol of transformation. So I think that for many of you, if not all of you here, I don't think all of you, because I still had the feeling to say that message before, right? So that message was for some of you. But I think that many of you have listened to me saying that and say like, oh yeah, I can see that in myself maybe 5 years ago, but now I'm over it. So I think that many of you have come through that. So you have had a heavy childhood, you have had a lot of scarcity growing up, and you have faced many limitations, but then you managed to transform yourself. You managed to untrap yourself from that, from those self-limiting beliefs, and now you can enjoy all the prosperity that you are able to build. So let's see. Inner wisdom. Oh, wow, I love this. And Athena. So you know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. So yeah, again. So I think that indeed many of you have learned through a lot of financial struggles, or if not financial, just this feeling of whatever I try never comes out. My efforts are never enough. I think that many of you have gained the inner wisdom from that, to know that no, I can accomplish whatever I want. So this is a group that came through a lot of transformation. and learned so much from that, learned so much about themselves from that. High Priestess, harness mystic powers. I like how we have this symbol. There are these big wings here, and they remind me of a hawk, but also with this harness mystic power. I feel again like this manifestation power, but that this manifestation power came from harnessing, from not harnessing, sorry, from mastering your own transformation. The moment the moment you master your inner transformation, you're able to achieve whatever you want. But you need to learn how to tap into that power. And if you can see, he has this bird into his head. I don't know exactly what bird this is. I thought this was an eagle, but because of the wings, but I'm not sure what animal this is. But in any case, it's sitting right into his forehead. His chakra, his crown chakra, and his forehead chakra. So that inner wisdom, right? From Athena here. Seen within. This group doesn't accomplish because it manages to conquer the outside world. This group accomplishes after it manages to conquer its own inner self. Your own demons, your own self-limiting beliefs. Once you're able to get through that, and I think that many of you have managed to, you can accomplish whatever you want. And if you are still in the path of doing that, then I'm telling you, what are your potentials here? This is what you are moving towards. Your own manifesting powers. Nature. And the same, I keep getting the same messages over and over again. So sorry if I'm just repeating myself. That happened with the other groups as well. But it's just that all the cards, they are kind of saying the same thing. Because I keep seeing it has 3 eyes here. So for me, again, that symbol of inner wisdom. And then we have this big activated crown chakra here. So the mastery of your outside conditions through the mastery of your inner conditions. But you need to work on that mastery, right? And if you have already, then you know what I'm talking about. But you have a lot of inner wisdom. And that also comes from the independence card that I said in the beginning. So not just prosperity, but your own independence. Because you know yourself enough to know that you are also enough in yourself. Mouse. You are very attentive to the details. Very attentive to the details. You can work very diligently. You can be very pragmatic. You can develop whatever skill you want. The mouse for me is a very skillful energy. He can learn how to do anything if he puts the effort, you know? So it's like someone, if they want to play a musical instrument, they can sit. It's like it's a Virgo energy for me here. So you can sit and you can go through that and work as hard as you need to in that, which also that 8 of Pentacles energy that I said before, right? The 8 that comes before the 9. Whatever you put yourself into, you can learn. Whatever you put yourself into, you can do. This is someone who starts things from zero and they can suddenly learn, not suddenly, like with a lot of work, they can learn that, they can master that. But they need to master their own self-limiting beliefs first. Yeah, it's very Mercury and Virgo for me here, this mouse energy. You can learn whatever skill you want. Yes, so much potential here in this group. I think you guys are so talented, and I wouldn't be surprised if you can like practice a very technical sport, or if you can play a musical instrument or do something like that, or if you have learned something like that that you just had no knowledge of, and then now you're very good at it, and you were self-taught, you know? But you really need to focus on that inner wisdom. Develop that inner wisdom more and more every time, you know, to look into yourself with a lot of discernment. Not be afraid to see yourself, you know, in order to develop all this potential. That's really an amazing group. So thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I do work with private consultations. I have my website linked at the description box, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye. Hello, group number 4. This is the reading for everybody who chose the pile 4 with the clear crystals, clear quartz crystals. Let's get to your reading. So I have some oracle cards and some tarot cards with your hidden talents. Yeah, and this group got 2 of these cards. I don't know why, but you got 2. You're the only group. And I will not be reading reversals in these tarot cards. So if they come out in the reverse, I will just shift them around. Okay, so let's take a look at your talents. 10 of Wands, and it says here instruction. So 2 messages that I'm getting from this pile. First, I get a lot of, it's a teaching energy. So I think that some of you have a talent to teach other people, to instruct other people. And I see this in a very practical manner. So I think that you usually teach people in a practical way. Okay? So either you are a musical instructor, or maybe you teach other languages, or you are a teacher somewhere, but you are very good at instructing people, at using your words to help other people reach their potential. And if you don't work with that, maybe it's just something that you do to your friends, to family, you're always there to help, to teach them how to do something, to give them an instruction. And I think that you have a lot of discipline. I think you have a lot of discipline. If you want to master something, you can teach yourself how to master that. So you know how to apply effort to things. And this is interesting because this is also a very Saturn card for me here. It gives me a lot of Saturn energies, even though this is not, like in tarot, this card is not related to Saturn, okay? But I'm getting the Saturn energy. And I had a similar message with another pile, but in that pile, I kind of saw people struggling with their own Saturn. And in here, I feel like for you, it flows more naturally. It's like you always knew that things require effort, and you're always willing to put that effort. You know that things take time. And you're not someone who gives up easily. You keep on trying. It's almost as if you have that faith and that patience, and you just keep on trying. You don't give up. You're not someone who gives up easily. I like that. I really like that message here. And I think that's also why you're so good instructing other people, because I think that makes you very patient. You are patient with your own failures and mistakes, and you are very patient with other people's failures and mistakes as well. Because you know that with the right incentive, anyone can reach their potentials. That's beautiful. Pile number 4. 6 of vessels. Again, what did I say? Reunion. And I also feel like a connection with kids for some of you. Because we have this man teaching this kid how to shoot the arrow, and the Six of Cups, if you know the Rider-Waite tarot, in the Rider-Waite, in the card, you have two kids. And an older kid is giving a cup with some flowers to a younger kid. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you work with kids. I would not be surprised. But I feel mostly that you're very patient. If you don't work with kids, you just have that patience with people almost as if they were kids, you know? You don't expect people to be perfect. You know that everybody is growing and developing, and we will commit failures in our development. We are all learning. We are all growing. And there's no need to beat ourselves or other people for the mistakes that they make. So I keep feeling like this very accepting, loving energy. I think you're a very loving pile number 4. You're a very loving person, very kind, very accepting, very tolerant. And it's like you see the best in everybody. You see their potential. Like here, it's like this man looks at this kid and they see the great archer that they can be with the right, if they are kind and patient with this kid and help them develop, then they can become an amazing archer. It's almost as if you see people as if they are plants. And you know that with the right amount of water and the right nutrients, they can bloom. That's a beautiful thing. That's really a beautiful thing. And then we have the Ace of Arrows, the breath of life. And this is the Ace of Swords. So with the Ace of Swords here, even though you have all this loving energy, I think that you are also a very rational group. You're very rational in your decisions. And I think that that's a beautiful combination with the two cards that we had before, because I feel like you don't take things personal. And maybe that's why you can be so accepting and patient with other people, because you can see from a rational point of view that if they make mistakes, that's not because of you, you know? You don't take it personal. If someone says something harsh to you, you don't take this as an attack to you. You know that that is just a byproduct of whatever situation they are going through or they have been through. And you have this love to give to them. So it's like you can separate, even though you have a lot of love, you can also separate when to act from your emotions and when to act from your rational mind. And actually, I see this on both ways, right? Both to not judge and cut out someone for something that they are doing, because you know where that's coming from. But also if someone hurts you, really hurts you, you're also not afraid to have your boundaries and separate them, you know? So you can really manage those two sides of yourself. Your emotional side that is loving and compassionate, but also your rational side that says, no, but this is the right thing for me to do. So I really like the balance here in this group. And we have Bridget, don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right. Yeah, for sure. What I just said with the Ace of Arrows. So first, I think you are very protective with the people around you, right? Because of that compassion. You really stand up for the things you believe. This to me feels like a very Aquarian energy, also with the Ace of Arrows here, right? Yeah, I feel a lot of Aquarian energy as well. Even though we don't even have, we have the Ace of Arrows, but we don't have that much air energy going on here. But I feel that Aquarian energy of the 11th house, of looking at the collective, of dispersonalizing things, of dispersonalizing people around you, you know, like you don't take things personal. You see things from this collective perspective. So for instance, if you support a cause, I can easily see this group supporting a cause. either by teaching people or by maybe you're vegetarians, you're vegans, you support something that you believe because you want this equality of all things. This is interesting here. Very interesting. Arrow, again, surround yourself with protective energy. And look how crazy this is, because we have this arrow, and then we got the Ace of Arrows, which also has an arrow. And if you look at Bridget, she has an arrow behind her. So indeed, this one-pointedness energy, of standing up, I really see this group as a group that has a strong cause that you fight for. And I think that this is part of your talents, this how you can stand up for what you think is right and be rational about it. It's very Aquarian here. This arrow energy. And really standing up, I don't see this in a selfish way. So it's not like standing up and going after something that you want for yourself for selfish reasons. I really see this big link with the collective. It's almost as if you live in service for a collective, whatever collective it is. As I said, it can be children, it can be maybe you are part of like an animal protection organization, or if you are vegan and vegetarian, or maybe you support like immigrants, when you work and you do service work for refugees, something like that. But I see this connection with a social cause. And if you don't do that yet, I wouldn't be surprised if you have been thinking about doing that. And if you have been thinking about that and you haven't decided, I think that you can take this as a sign that this is a path for you. That this is really a path for this group, because you have a big talent in inspiring people. You can really inspire people. So if you believe in a cause, try to be more connected with that cause, because you can really inspire other people to join it and be part of it. So let's take a look at your 2 cards. So we got Strength and Get Creative. Wow. So with the Strength here, I feel again this energy of the Ace of Arrows, of fighting for what is right. You're really not afraid of standing up and fighting for a cause you believe in. You will put your whole soul into that. And you can do things in ways that are very creative. And I think that you are probably very creative yourself as well. At least some of you, remember that I said with maybe you are a teacher, you teach something. Maybe you are an instrument instructor, like a music instructor. Either you sing and you teach people how to sing, or you play an instrument and you teach people how to play an instrument. But I think that this is a very creative group. You have some creative gifts here. I don't know if you are aware of that or not, if you have discovered that or not. But there is a huge potential of you being very creative. And you can use this creativity in this social cause, whatever you are connected with. I don't know what this group is connected with, but there is a lot of creativity connected with that. This is an amazing group. I really love the energy here. Wow, and then we have Dragonfly. And this is connected with the air element. So again, I would not be surprised if many of the people watching this are Aquarians or Geminis as well. But with the Dragonfly, this is a very Gemini energy. You are really skilled at something. You do have a big skill at something. And this group is also very smart. No wonder, because you have like all those arrows, right? With the Ace of Arrows here. And the Dragonfly is a very intellectual energy. So I think that this group is extremely smart. But use that, align that with your creativity, and put that into the service of other people somehow. I really feel this big call of using your talents to support other people. With this group, is really clear this energy for me. You really need to be able to lead your gifts, to put your gifts towards other people. Okay, you need to work on that. That's something that will bring you a lot of happiness, because that's very connected with your purpose. Because the dragonfly, is a very dynamic energy. Dynamic energies, they don't like to be stale. Okay, so if you have gifts, if you have a talent, if you have something or a cause that you really believe in, and you're letting that energy sit still and not putting that into use, that's not a good thing. Energy needs to move. Okay, every kind of energy needs to be constantly flowing. It's very important with everything. So for instance, this is not even related to this here, but just as an example, for instance, money. The more you accumulate, the more you don't use that money, the less you attract for yourself. Now, when you start moving that energy, so for instance, how do you attract money? You need to give money. You need to spend, not spend, of course, a lot. You need to have your savings. You need to, of course, take care of yourself. You need to be pragmatic, right? But if you don't spend a bit on yourself, and if you don't give money to others, then you're not letting that energy of money flow. It's just becoming stagnated. And once it stagnates, it starts crystallizing. So harder and harder it will be for you to attract more money. And it's the same with knowledge. It's the same with intelligence. You can't let the energy become stale. It needs to be moving. It needs to be used somehow. So that's very important here for this group. I loved your reading, group number 4. I really loved it. That's an amazing group. So group number 4, I hope you enjoyed. And if you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I do work with private consultations, both tarot readings and also astrological readings. I have my website linked at the description box, so you can check it out if you like this reading here, okay? So I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.